the video. Thanks for jumping in. Uh, Today, this video will be about stash management and the concept that I've come up with on how I think we can go about uh, tackling this particular aspect of the game. I know for many of us, this has been sort of a challenge even in previous Diablo installments. And of course, there's a reason that stash tabs are sold in PoE. So hopefully this concept will be able to help us even a little bit on tackling that issue. So stash management. First off, to be able to go about this in the correct way, we should be able to uh, categorize our items uh, in two categories. In this regard, we would categorize them by their quality. So the first category would be those of legendary and above quality. Although in this particular, I'm in the point in the game where I mostly have legendary, so these concepts mostly apply to that category. And then also we have a category for rare quality items and below. So uh, let's see. So for legendaries, we would subdivide that category into four uh, categories depending on uh, the item's use and the aspect it has. First category would be if the item is needed and if its aspect is also needed. Second category is if the item is needed and its aspect, however, is not needed. Third category would be if the item is not needed and its aspect is not needed. And fourth category would be if the item is not needed, but the aspect is needed. Okay, so let's discuss the four categories for legendaries and what entails and characterizes each of those categories. So the first one is you have the use category. These are characterized by legendary items who or which has properties that you need and uh, which has an aspect that you also need or would use for your build. So you know what I'm talking about. These are usually the big upgrade gear that you loot, which you then immediately use to get the power boost. And then the second category is the keep category. What does this mean? So these category is characterized by legendary items that has which has item properties you need. Because probably they have features or properties, specific properties that fit your build, or they have high roll of the more general properties like damage. So you need the item, but you do not need the aspect for one reason or another. Either it doesn't fit your build, or you already have that aspect that has a higher roll in it. So these items you keep because, of course, you can imprint new aspects of them. The third category is the scrap category. I think you already know this. Most of us would realize that these are items that, for one reason or another, have undesirable properties and undesirable aspects. So we scrap them so that we can use them for crafting material. So we can use the use it for crafting or improving other materials or other items. And last but not the least is we have the extract category. In this category, we have items which has properties that we do not need, but which has aspects that we do need for one reason or another. So yeah, for example, we get a lower level item. However, as it happens, and I've experienced this personally, even though the level of the item is low, for some reason it has an aspect that is a higher uh, role than a higher level legendary item which has a similar aspect. So since that scenario exists, this category must also exist, wherein you have an item that you just need to extract the, the aspect from, but the item itself is trash. So this would fit that particular uh, category. So again, we have the four categories: the use, uh, the keep, the scrap, and the extract. So I believe that this would greatly simplify our decision making in our sorting and management of the legendary items in our stash. Next, we'll be talking about how to manage rare and lower quality items. Okay, here we'll be illustrating the application of the concept for sorting out your legendary items. So I have set aside an item that meets each of the four categories. Uh, so first one, I have this weapon wherein you'll see that the item itself has the stats I need and it has an aspect that I'm using. So I'm using it. It belongs to that category. As you can see, it's a very good stat. Now, I have this glove whose aspect I do not need because I have one that same aspect that has a higher role in another item. But the item itself, I might need the stat, especially if I change the configuration of my build. So in this case, this glove has a relatively high lucky hit chance, which I'm kind of playing with. Now, this one is an example. So in the previous one, so I'm keeping the glove, although I'm not using it. This glove, on the other hand, has item stats which I do not need, but then it has an aspect that I need because it's the only that I have that has that aspect, and I don't have the codex yet. The codex is the same codex for that aspect. So in this case, this is an example of an item set for extraction. And then lastly, I have an item here which I do not need, that I don't need, and whose aspect I don't need for various reasons. So this one is set for scrapping, so that I can use the materials instead for crafting or improving my other items. In this part, we'll be discussing on how you should manage your rare and lower quality items. So first off, you will set a threshold wherein if an item meets this gold value threshold, you'll be selling it. So this, of course, this can be arbitrarily set depending on your gold needs. So if you need more gold, you set this threshold lower. And then, uh, if you need more items, then you set this threshold higher because you will be scrapping those items who or which does not meet this said threshold. In this case, I set a threshold of 15,000, wherein I will be selling items that are worth 15,000 or more gold, and I'll be scrapping the rest. In my case, I have some rare items that I am still needing to use, so I couldn't just scrap uh, all of them unilaterally, as one would normally would. So anyway, going back, I'm cycling through all of my rare items that I do not plan to use and see which ones meet the threshold. Those that meet it will be sold, as you can see here. So one's here on brand, and I think I have a couple of weapons here. and then I'll be scrapping the rest. Now that threshold can be arbitrarily set depending on your gold and or material needs. So obviously, if you need more gold, you set the threshold lower so you can sell more items. If you need more materials, you set the threshold higher. Uh, yeah. So which means you'll be scrapping more items. So it's very simple. As you can see, that's what I did. So again, I need to use all the rares, so it took me some time. I have to click on each one, but imagine you guys won't be having that problem. All right. So thank you guys for dropping by and watching the video. If you have any ideas that you'd like to share about our topic today, perhaps you yourself have some ideas about how to effectively match your stash, please share them on the comments below. And if you want to be notified on further Diablo-related videos, please be so kind to click the subscribe button to be notified immediately of any new videos. So again, thank you for dropping by, and see you on the next one.